The Dow down more than 500 points, as we have been saying, worst week for the stock market in 4 years' time. Dave Maney is with me now. He is the CEO of Maney.com and Headwaters MB co-founder. Dave, you said you saw signs of this coming. What gave it away?
I think it's been a systematic underpricing of risk. I'm not a markets guy. I'm an economic future guy. That's what I write about. That's what I talk about. And what you can see right now is systemic economic risk. We're seeing everything change. We're seeing everything being informationalized. We're seeing the nature of companies and corporations change. We're seeing the way people work and earn money change. And all of those things are happening at once. And it, to me, as an outsider looking at the markets, they've essentially been sitting there and saying, we're going to price everything as if everything's going to work, as if the path we're on will be undisturbed, and if no major outside risks will hit us and change that trajectory. And it seems to me, you were just talking about North Korea. You've got that geopolitical risk. You've got election risk in the United States. And you have all of this gigantic structural economic change. And to think that we're just on a plain and straight trajectory, which it seems to me is what the markets were saying, has seemed to me for quite a while to be like driving, as a Colorado guy, driving on black ice. I don't know what's coming. I don't know if my brakes will work. I don't know if my steering's going to work. And I don't know when I'm going to hit the black ice. And it's possible that we just hit it.
So, Dave, a point of context or two, though, in the sense that it's not as if the world, unfortunately, is ever calm. I mean, there's always tension. There's always conflict. There's always war. And there was a study done by Deloitte over the past 140 years about how technology has been systematically, for more than a century, changing the way that every single industry functions. So none of those elements are new, but it sounds like you're saying there's some sort of perfect storm that you see happening that has not happened in the past?
I think that's exactly right. There's things that would take longer to talk about how information changes economic structures. And that's what we're seeing in the employment market in the United States, where the job force seems to be shrinking, and yet we're still sort of earning, and wage growth has completely stagnated in a way it never has before since we've been measuring it. All of those things are happening, I believe, in a more profound way than even the Industrial Revolution made them happen. And if you take that as a backdrop, I'm not saying that there's never a conflict or there's never a North Korea, South Korea thing going on. I'm saying that, as you said, Deirdre, if you take this kind of shaky element and put that perfect storm around it, particularly when you've been pricing it as if you're sailing on a sunny day, that's kind of a recipe for some real turbulence.
Well, to your point about the workforce, I do understand what you're saying. I mean, labor market participation still at its lowest level since basically the late 70s or early 80s. And I do know what you mean about stagnated wages. There are a lot of people who feel that daily. Dave Maney, we thank you very much for joining us, CEO of Maney.com.